It is Monday, December 14th at 1:50 p.m. and I am about to call Benjamin back.
Hello, you've reached the voicemail for Benjamin Pantages, Workers' Comp Manager for Amazon. Sorry I missed your call. Please leave your name, number, and a short message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Hi Benjamin, this is Scott Brown. How you doing today, sir? I'm just calling up to follow up with you. Couple things. One, whenever I went to Amcare the first time, they didn't give me any paperwork. They sent me home for the weekend, and my foot started swelling up, and I couldn't put weight on it. So I tried to reach out to try to call to see where I'm supposed to go for a doctor. So I called, went to A to Z app, because I called the facility 2 or 3 times and they would never patch me through. The only resolution to that is they want me to come there. So I called A to Z app and they opened up a case for me, which I think we need to cancel that. If you could look into that, it's going to be a case 01384789. I got an email confirmation on that from the DSL team. It says that I guess they wanted to do a leave of absence for my personal injury or whatnot, but I didn't get. I got hurt on the job, so that must be a little different. Anyway, if you would give me a call back, thank you so much. Have a great day. This is December 14th at 3:01 p.m. Calling Benjamin.
Good afternoon, this is Ben.
Hey Ben, this is Scott. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm alright, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good. What's up?
I guess when I first did this process, I couldn't get a hold of anybody. I needed to try to figure out, what my next step was, and I called the A to Z app, and then they made an additional case for me, which I think is kind of screwing everything up. So I called them this morning, and they said that they already closed that case.
Okay, so I think the case that they opened was a leave of absence case, because it's currently showing you on a leave of absence.
Right, and that would explain why I didn't get any notifications for missed time. So
Yeah, so did they say that they were going to close that and make you active again?
yes, they said they were going to close it today. So they called to confirm.
Okay, we'll have to keep an eye on that. So here's where we're at. I know that you said that you initially got hurt and then you tried to get a hold of Amcare, and so I can't really speak to anything prior to you going to the doctor, but what I do know is we got the updated RFI from the clinic.
Awesome.
Indicating that you have crutches. I sent it over to the site. The site responded over the weekend saying we can still accommodate.
Okay.
But since you have an appointment tomorrow,
Yes.
and I don't necessarily work weekends. I happened to see it yesterday because I logged on for a few hours, but that's besides the point. And I had already given you directive to not return.
Right.
Let's wait until tomorrow's exam.
Okay.
And then your next scheduled day wouldn't be until Friday anyhow, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, yeah. So we've got a couple days to play with. I let Anchor know, hey, they said they could accommodate, but I told him to stay home because he's got crutches, and I wanted to be sure before we sent him back and then had them turn you right back around.
Right.
So Anchor knows that you're not working, so if wages are due, they'll go ahead and take care of that. And then we'll just see what happens tomorrow. Do you think you'll still be on crutches after tomorrow?
probably still be on crutches. I haven't put any weight on my foot yet. So the swelling's gone down to about, I would say, 40 to 50%, which is good, better.
Oh, that's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm anxious to see what they say tomorrow, because she never did call me back and tell me what the radiologist said yet. So
Gotcha.
So
okay. So I think what we need to prepare for is if your restrictions don't change, the site's likely going to say that they can still accommodate, so you'll have to go back to work on Friday.
I'm eager to go back to work. But yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
And then we'll just kind of have to keep an eye on that LOA. Hopefully they actually did end it, so that way you don't run into any issues with clocking in and out come later this week when you go back to work.
Okay.
But if it doesn't fall away in the next day or so, we'll have to try and bang on some doors and see if we can get that fixed.
Okay.
Okay. What else? I'm still waiting to see from the site a couple outstanding items that I requested for Anchor. As soon as I grab those, I'll send them over to Anchor for them to review.
She called me.
One of them's a statement from.
She called me today. She called me today, and she went over the process and everything with me, and about the pay and how long it takes for them to pay for the missed days and so forth. So.
So, did she have any concerns?
No, she didn't have any concern. I forwarded her an email. She said she's going to forward that to you. Whenever I talked to the problem solver and he denied everything, like he didn't even know what I was talking about, that kind of sent a red flag to me. I have an open retaliation case against that management, so I'm not sure if they're trying to attack my credibility or not.
Gotcha. Against the PA, or is it a certain manager? Or?
It's against PA and in the HR department. So the HR is, they're switching my managers around without me knowing about it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't really have any insight or visibility on that, but right. I've requested a statement from the actual PA.
Okay.
I've also requested video. Yes. I don't know.
So the timeline, if you could do like from 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. that I arrived to work till I know I went to Amcare about 3:55 a.m. So it happened. I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember the exact time that I got ran over. My foot got ran over, but I know it was during when I was a wrangler, so I was missing the totes, and we do that quarterly. So each quarter. We switch. So once we go to break, then I become the operator, and my partner becomes the wrangler. Does that make sense? So we rotate.
Yeah. So there's a switch.
Yes. And I do remember one time that whenever she had to use the restroom, I actually wrangled my own toads. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get them to review. I know that the initial report said around 10 p.m.
Right.
But. I mean, they'll kind of take a look at everything.
Okay, good.
The only issue might be is whether or not there's actual coverage in your area. So, like, a lot of times we'll have cameras, but they're not pointed in the right direction, or there's just no cameras in a certain area. So, I have the safety and LP teams looking into that to see if we can capture anything on video. If Arlinda didn't have any real concerns, like, hey, I don't know, we're gonna have to confirm your story.
Right.
I don't foresee an issue. If she didn't bring up any red flags to you, your claim's more than likely going to be accepted. You'll be eligible for wage replacement, all those good things. If this was an issue with a he said, she said type situation, then that might be a different story. But I think you're going to be okay as far as the actual incident. It seems like it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Whether he wants to it or not is a different story. But
right. But I don't know. I mean, the way that I don't know. As I worked in security for Weston, and we don't compromise our our views for anybody except for an internal team, and he showed me some camera views, which I don't know. To me, it's like, no, dude, that's security. You don't show any of your customers, any employees, the views of the cameras. But anyway,
yeah, yep. So I'm gonna get whatever they send to me, ship it over to
okay.
to Anchor and let them handle. But I think we're okay for now.
Okay.
We'll just have to again keep an eye on that LOA, and then we'll hopefully get a decision pretty quickly after your appointment on the 15th. So that way we can.
Awesome. And do you want me to?
Direction we're going.
Will they automatically forward their information to you on the 15th, or do I need to submit paper to you?
You're supposed to, but let me see here. You're going to Care now?
Concentra or whatever. That little clinic.
Concentra. Okay,
yeah,
perfect. Yeah, let's see here. So Concentra is usually pretty good about sending it either same day or next day.
Okay.
I should be okay. I should be okay with it.
I'm also, even though that it's not taking away my time because my day off, but I'm also having them go ahead and fill out a little timesheet, the time that arrived, and then the time I left, and then they can sign it for you. So I also have that as well.
Yeah, I would just hang on to that. That usually just goes to HR if you are missing time from work.
Okay.
In this case, it doesn't seem like you will be, but yeah, I would hang on to those. I typically, like, the voice of experience, I've gotten hurt at work before many years ago, and I save everything.
Yeah.
Just you don't know.
Yeah, you don't.
So
this is my first time ever. Yeah. Okay.
well, hopefully first and last.
Yeah.
Get you back to where you were pre-injury and.
Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate your time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, no problem. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm trying to reach Scott Brown.
This is Scott.
Scott, hi, this is Arlinda with Anchor Claims,
Yes, ma'am.
and trying to find we're calling concerning your injury, and I received an email from you while I was out on Friday. And let's see. So we just needed to discuss your injury and get some additional information. Do you have time?
Sure.
Okay. So how are things going for you today?
Doing pretty good. Foot's still a little sore. It's still swollen, but it's all right.
Okay. Okay, let's see. What I have here so far, excuse me, is, let's see, I have your date of birth as...
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct? Okay. Good. I have your email address is scott.brown.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have your address as, well, actually I have two addresses here. I have 4. So which address are we using?
No, I live at. So any important documentation you want to mail it to that Addison address.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Because we have different properties, so just make it simplified for everything. We have all of our mail go to one place.
Okay. Okay. So, let's see, have you had any lost time due to this injury?
I have. I missed all this week. Because they had accommodations for me, but I guess no one told them that I had crutches. So I couldn't actually go into the building. And then my case manager with Amazon, Benjamin, he said, well, I'll go ahead and make the change on Friday. Because if I was trying to figure out how I was going to get to work on Friday. Because I couldn't drive. So.
So, what days do you work?
I work Friday from 7 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Friday through Monday.
Yes, ma'am.
So your lost time started on Friday?
Yeah, so...
The 11th?
Yes, ma'am. So Friday through Monday this time. I got hurt on Tuesday morning, which is my Friday. And, you know, when I got hurt, it didn't really feel that bad. I felt like I just sprained my ankle. But the next night, well, I guess when I slept, took my shoe off, I don't know, my foot swelled up. And I couldn't even stand on it.
Okay. And you were treating with Concentra? Is it Concentra?
Yes, ma'am. They gave me 3 addresses. I had to find that on my own. And then
what body part was injured?
It's my right foot. Like on top of my foot.
Have you had any prior injuries to your right foot or ankle?
No, ma'am.
And when is your follow-up with Concentra?
It's on the 15th, which is tomorrow.
So, how long have you been employed with Amazon?
I'm blue badged since August the 30th of 2020. Then I had a white badge for like 45 days or so.
And you said you had a white badge for how long?
I think 45 days.
So you were hired in July?
That sounds about right.
And what do you work? Are you a picker, store, inbound, water spider?
I work in Universal and under the UIS department, which is the robotics.
Okay. Okay, so how did your injury happen?
I was a wrangler, which is there's two operators per robotic team. You have an operator and then you have a wrangler. The wrangler, the robotic fills the totes up. There's like 50 totes on one side of the robot. As the robotic fills the totes up, the wrangler job is to empty those totes once there's a blue light. Once the robotic tells, hey, this tote's full. So I scanned a tote, and then I was about to, I turn and pivot, and I pivot and I put my right foot out to throw the tote onto the conveyor belt. And as soon as I did that, that's when the guy, the problem solver, had a cart, and at the same time he met me with the cart, which is I was pretty much in shock, because usually they wait. If we're with the totes, they usually wait or let us know that they're behind us, and he didn't. And I just got a little frustrated. I looked at him like, what the heck? But
okay.
But he said, he looked at me and I said, dude, I said, I'm sorry. He goes, he's sorry too. And then he just ran off. I mean, he continued his thing. And then I told my operator, I said, the problem solver just ran over my foot with the cart. And then we talked about that for a little bit. And then I wanted to say, I don't remember. I know I was a wrangler, so it had to been, we rotate shifts each quarter. So after the first break, I was a wrangler, and then we take a break, and then I become operator, and she becomes wrangler, and then we rotate back and forth all throughout the night. So there's only 2 shifts that I'm able to, or 2 quarters I'm able to do a wrangler.
Okay.
But there is a time that I was an operator, and she told me she had to use the restroom, and I had to wrangle my own totes. So I do remember, but sometime when I scanned a tote, and then I turned, and that's when he ran over my foot.
Okay, so you scanned the tote and you were getting ready to load it on the conveyor, or you loaded it on the conveyor?
I didn't. He ran over my foot. I put it back on the robotic, so I wasn't able to finish that fluid motion.
So you were getting ready to load it on the conveyor.
Right. I had the tote in my hand. But you didn't
get ready.
Right. As soon as he ran over it, I put it back, and I was like, "What?" You know.
So tote in hand. So the problem solver was behind you?
Yeah, he was behind me pushing a cart. And usually the problem solvers will wait. If they see us on the aisle, because the aisle is so skinny, right, so narrow, between the machine and the conveyor belt, and I couldn't hear them because there's a mat on the floor. I mean, there's mats on the floor for our, because we're constantly there for, 10-hour days, so.
Okay, so the problem solver was behind you pushing a cart, and he ran over your foot. He apologized and ran off.
Yeah, he
Does
just.
That sound about right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
So I mean, at that time, I was in shock pretty much, in disbelief that he ran over my foot, because that I don't think it's never happened before. But it didn't hurt. So I continued my job, and then maybe about a few hours later, an hour and a half, 2 hours later, when I was walking, I felt discomfort when I was walking. And then I lift up my pants leg, and that's when I noticed my ankle was swollen, and I showed my operator, Olivia or Sophia, and then she made a comment. She said, "Wow, that's really swollen." So I said, "Yeah, I need to go to Amcare. I need to go report this." And then I went to Amcare to report it.
Okay. You lifted up your pants. And you said was it your ankle or your foot that was swollen? Or both?
It's just all I saw was my ankle.
Okay.
And I compared both my feet, to show her, and yeah, it was definitely, it was really swollen. And like I said, at that point, when I was walking, I could feel, like the back of my heel, I could feel a little discomfort in my heel. So I started to limp a little bit.
Okay. So let's see.
It was, I've never been to Amcare report anything like this. This was my first time. But as soon as I reported it, I had 2 people come in. I had Mike come in with the laptop. I guess he was filling out the report. Then I had another guy, Andre or something like that, with safety. And he started looking at the camera views immediately while I'm in the room, and asked me questions about the cameras. Like, I felt it's more of an interrogation than, hey, I just got hurt. The Amcare guy, he gave me 2 ice packs. And then Andre showed me a couple spots. I can't remember the exact time I got hurt. I just know it's whenever I was a wrangler. So there's 2 quarters before I went to Amcare that I was a wrangler. And then he was looking at the tapes, and then all of a sudden Mike and them started whispering to each other, and they asked me if I took my break. I said, no, I have not taken my break. And this is at about 4, almost 4 a.m. in the morning, because they told me to go ahead and go take my break. So I said, okay. So I hobbled to the main break room. I looked at my clock, because I knew I only had a 20-minute break, so I knew I had to be back at 4:20. And by the time I came back, he said, okay, we did all the paperwork. They're good to go. Go back to your shift. I'm like, okay. When I came back to my station, someone that came by and questioned my operator, because, we had training. I had training for the second time for UIS, because I guess they lost the paperwork for the first time I had training. And we both had training. This is, on Saturday, the day before, we both had our second training, which the guy didn't really train anything. So they questioned that. They questioned her, and they asked her about the training and asked her if I was there, if I was present, and all that. And then that's when I saw Mike talking to the problem solver. And then he came to me and he pushed me and goes, "Hey, which one ran over your foot?" I said, "That the guy you were just talking to ran over my foot." Which, if they saw it in the videos, then they should already know who it was, which kind of sent a red flag to me. And then as the night progressed, my foot started to hurt a little more, but I wanted to go and tell the problem solver and say, look, I'm not here to throw you under the bus. It should be an accident. I just wanted to go talk to him, right? So I went to go talk to him, and he completely denied even anything ever happened. I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, this is the first time I even heard about it." I said, "Wow," and I walked away because I'm like, I'm not here to. I didn't want to try to engage a conversation if in his mind he didn't acknowledge the fact that he ran over my foot.
Okay.
So I don't know. This is the same management that I have issues with. Sundays and Mondays, I've always questioned them about the safety. So the double stacking on the boxes and all of them.
Yeah, no, your work comp manager could. I can't because, again, I'm not there in Amazon.
Okay.
I will forward your email to your work comp manager, but and let him look at it on his end.
Okay.
But as far as me, because I don't work there, I don't have any kind of access to anything Amazon.
Okay.
Okay. So Amazon has opted out of Take This Work Comp. They have their own occupational benefit plan, and what that is you have to follow the guidelines. The guidelines in their plan when you were hired. In your packet, they gave you information on how to how to file a claim and a brief description of the plan and what you have to do and how it works. But to sum all that up, you basically you have to report your claim timely. You have 3 days to report your injury. You're good on that. You have to be seen by an approved provider. You cannot be seen by your own personal provider. If you do, you will be responsible for payment to that provider. But that is your choice. If you decide you want to be seen by your PCP, then that would be your choice. But you would have to put the bill for those visits, and it could also jeopardize your benefits. You have to keep and be on time for all of your appointments. You cannot miss, cancel, or reschedule any appointments. If there's an emergency that you have to reschedule an appointment, you would need to contact Concentra, and you would need to let them know. But you would also need to contact me to let me know. When you don't contact me, if Concentra calls me and they say, "Hey, Arlinda Scott didn't show for his appointment," they don't give us a reason why. So when they call, a non-compliance letter is generated. And so once that non-compliance letter is generated, there's only one non-compliance letter that will be generated. The second act of non-compliance is termination of benefits. So we want to make sure that you remain compliant. We want you to follow your restrictions at home as well as at work. And you have to give Concentra notification because they could charge you for a broken appointment fee. If that were to happen, then that would be your fee to pay. We will not cover that.
Right.
For your lost time, what Amazon will do is they will send us 8 weeks of your wages, 8 weeks prior to the date of injury. We will calculate those wages, and you will get 85% of the average. And that 85% is 85%, and that's prior to taxes and any other deductions that normally come out. So we will not pay you here. We don't cut your checks here. Your check will still come from Amazon. So once we receive your wages and get that calculated, all wages go in on Fridays. And the only thing I'll do is get that calculated, and then we will send it over to Amazon to let them know what your 85% is, what they should be paying you, because they will still have to cut the check and take care of the deductions. Your pay will come to you like normal if you get direct deposit or if you get live check. However you normally receive your pay is how you will continue to receive it. We have not received your wages yet. They have been requested. So if we get them in and get them submitted by Friday, then you're looking at receiving your first check anywhere between the 25th, which they'll probably do a day early, the 24th, and the 28th. It usually takes them 7 to 10 days to release the first work injury check because it's going to be coded different than your normal check. And as long as you're off work, you will continue to get the check. Now, if at any point during your injury, if Amazon says, if the site comes back and they say they can accommodate your restrictions, we advise you to accept those accommodations and work the light duty. But if you decide that you do not want to and you want to stay at home and rest that ankle until you feel like you're better, then at that point you're no longer eligible for the lost time pay. Because anytime the site can accommodate, then you make the decision whether you're going to go back or not. We always advise you to so that you can get paid at 100%.
You try to say if I accommodate, then they pay. I mean, I just feel like I didn't want my foot. I said, so if they do the accommodations, then I get 100% of my check back. I was like, wow. I didn't ask to get hurt. I got hurt, and all these, it just it's frustrating sometimes.
And when they accommodate, it's not necessarily that you're put back in the area where you were injured, depending on what your accommodations are. But as long as are you in a boot?
I'm in a boot with crutches. So
okay. So as long as you're in the boot with the crutches, you can't be in the site with the boot. And it's about an open-toe boot. You can't be in the site with the boot and the crutches. So they probably won't be able to accommodate. You will be eligible for the 85%. But once you're out of the boot, and if you have to go through physical therapy, and they say, we can accommodate you, then, we advise you to go back because you get 100% of your pay at that time.
I want to go back as soon as possible. I mean, being home with my wife is just no. I'm bored. I'm like, get me back to work, please.
I understand. While you're off, take this time, get some rest, rest that ankle. If they gave you any kind of at-home exercises to try to do those to try to, help your healing.
Yeah, they told me to just keep my weight off of it, and I haven't. I mean, the swelling's gone down about 50%, which is good, and I have not put any weight on it at all. I always kept it elevated, because the sooner it gets done, the sooner I can go back to work. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and you can get back to your 100% paid, because after the 85%, you're probably, I don't know what kind of deductions you have coming out of your check, but you're probably looking at about 60% of your pay.
Yeah, I have a lot of.
So, and that's never good for anyone.
Right.
You know. So, I will be your adjuster, handling your medical, whatever Concentra needs from me, approval for whatever, they'll contact me. And at any time, if you have any issues with your medical, you would need to contact me to let me know.
Okay.
If there's any issues with anything else dealing with Amazon, you would need to speak to one of those teams that's listed in the email that's being sent. And if you can't get an answer or satisfaction to your question, then you can always reach out to Ben, and he can help you. He can assist you in getting whatever assistance you need.
Okay.
Or, whatever the answers are, because he is your work comp manager there. But as far as me, as long as if you don't contact me to let me know that there's an issue with your medical, I have no way of knowing.
Okay.
And I think everything is fine. But if there's an issue, or when there's an issue, you need to reach out to me to let me know.
It's the best.
Again, make sure that. I'm sorry.
It's the best just to send you an email and just give you an updates through email.
You can. If you call me, a lot of time, I'm on the phone the majority of the time, so you would have to leave me a message and just say, I need you to call me back. And I call people back as the phone calls come in, but if you send me an email, I can see it even if I'm on the phone with somebody else, and I can possibly respond faster. So either way, whatever works best for you. But my phone calls, I normally can't call you back in about 10 or 15 minutes, like you would like me to. But I handle, I handle only Amazon, so I handle a couple of sites for Amazon. So, this time of year is crazy busy. So, an email would be good. I can get back to you quicker.
Because my sleep habits I'm trying to keep my sleep habits the same, and I work the graveyard shift, so I usually just not getting up.
Okay.
At this time.
Okay. That's fine, and that's understandable. You want to keep your habits, your patterns the same. I get it. So, if you, and I can always refer back to, the days that you work and your sleep habits, the hours that you work, and, determine when I need to call you or shoot you an email. Even if you sleep, I can shoot you an email, and just know that you'll respond whenever you wake up.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's fine. Did you have any questions or concerns about anything?
I don't at this time. So.
Okay. All right. So if you find that you have any questions or concerns, just let me know. Let me see. I saw one more thing that I needed to ask you. Your social, I have it as 442-928665. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. So have you had to have any prescriptions filled?
I had 2.
Okay. So in your packet that they gave you at Amcare, there should have been a temporary card in there, a temporary prescription card. Did you use that?
No, the doctor said it was free. So my wife went up there and I guess the pharmacist called me, and they ran something, and then they were able to do it. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how they did it.
I don't know what they ran either, but we're gonna send you our pharmacy company is gonna send you a prescription card. So just watch out for that. And next week we can have, and it's usually like in an orange and a white card.
Okay.
And it's a vital point. And it's going to be good for this injury. It's going to look like your insurance card. So whenever you have to have a prescription filled for this injury, you can take that card to the pharmacy and give it to them just like you would your Blue Cross or Aetna or whatever insurance you have, and hand it over to them, and they will fill it and bill me.
Okay.
Okay. And then once this injury is complete, they will shut the car down.
Okay. I think both of them were like $12 each, so it wasn't really expensive.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all of the information that I needed right now. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And you're welcome. And you have a good afternoon.
All right, you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.